Right folks, we're back with the 1100 CD. While it's been down due to the broken flange, you're no good if your flange is gone. I've got myself a Husqvarna solid nosed bar for a .404 chain. There's this chain, oh, it's a lethal chain. We put a new little end bearing, piston pin bearing, and this morning what I've been waiting for is the new piston, gudgeon pin, piston pin, gasket, rings, and a Nikasil from Little Red Barn. Took a couple of weeks to get here, but all good. But this morning I'm going to, this video was initially about fitting a decompression valve. I'm too old to pull these great big things over with my ruptured stomach and my latest one, my split abs muscles, and so just see if they're both the same size. Look at that. So here's the one I done earlier. So what we need to do is to tap the head of the new cylinder. You need a depth pilot. That's an 8mm pilot, so that it only goes in so far and then stops, and the little 1/8 hole just protrudes into the cylinder. Oh, it's Mrs. Digwell. She's just brought the parts. And you'll need a, which one's that? A M10 by 1 millimeter pitch. These packs have a tapered tap and then a plug tap for getting deep down into the bottom of the thread. That one, no, you don't need that one. That's for that's a 10 by 1.25. So be sure you get the 10mm M10 by 1 millimeter pitch, 1p. See where they came from. What else do we need? I think that's about. Oh, and some and a decomp valve. I've only got an old one. I've sent for half a dozen, but they haven't arrived yet. This one will do for what we need. So we've got to get the block level in the workmate. And then we're going to drill down. I've got a family member here this week with his family and the 3 dogs and whatever, and he's I'm going to ask him if he'll do the filming so that he can get in a bit closer than I normally do, and you can see how I do it. I'm not saying you've got to do it this way or you've got to attempt to do it, but the original one worked well, no problem. And you see at the end, like looking up the chimney pot when you've rodded it. It's a shame that, because that was the original. And in the coming weeks I've just started buying some 2100 bits, and if this Nikasil goes well I'll buy another one. I've got the crankcases bought and the crank. So yeah, so I'm just going to set the block up in the bench. Right, here it is set up in the block. Hopefully, and one at the side just for guidance. The worst that can happen is that you grub the hole up, but you can just blank it off with a bolt. Well, I would anyway. Difficult it is without a centre punch. I can't find a centre punch with a pointer. So I'm getting put it on slow speed, and the collar I've measured so that the tip will break through, but the 8mm, we need 8.6 diameter for an M10. So I reckon about there. You see that? Try a bit closer. A little bit close to the edge there. I think it'll be alright. That hasn't come through yet. I need the collar a bit further up. I'll just ease it up a bit. Knock it off for a second. Right, so just give it a touch more. You can measure it if you want to try and do this, but you'll know when it breaks through. I think she's come through. No. This has got a thicker crown on than the 1100. go. Can you see daylight? That's what you want. Just an 1/8 of an inch hole, or 3mm. The tool I'm using in the end here is, whose is it? Who makes it? High Speed Stihl. It's 5mm. It's Presto, it says, but it's 8mm diameter by 3. You can get them different sizes for whatever you want to do. So we've got that. What we got now is an 8mm hole and a pilot for it to bleed away. Now what we've got to do, what we want to do next is we need to open that hole up to 8.6. for our 10mm tap. Right, the pilot tap. Oh, it's a key grip. There's a key grip come, and a stub tap. And for a 10mm, an M10, you need 8.6 drill. I'll just go and find one. Right, now I've got these two drills out of the drill stand. Now I know my calipers read a little bit big. That one's 8.7, so I'll try that one first. And that's 8.61 it says. But we don't want the hole too big, or the threads won't be have a lot of grip about them. So I'm going to try this. That one's bigger than the hole, and that's definitely bigger. So we've got to try and go into there, square. Is this the 8.6? I can't remember. This is how you do it off grid. When you haven't got any pedestal drills, or no, it's that one. That one says 8.14. I've probably got an 8.2 and an 8.3. Now we just want to try and keep it square. I need to take the inside shoulder down so that the tip of the decompression valve will sit in it. See how deep that is. Oh, that's plenty. That's 10. No, it still needs a bit more, I think. Oh, that's 10 to the... minute. I've got extra. So that's 9.54 on there. I'll just lock it down. It's not quite. That might do it. I'm just going to take a touch more, just a little bit deeper, but you have got to watch you don't break through. Softly, softly catch a monkey. Right. Right, well the family went off, gone for a walk. So we got it drilled. Look. I see the decompression hole. Yeah, there it is. Just 3 mil that is, the pilot. Just to bleed it away on your first pull to stop you pulling your stomach out. And there's the, I could perhaps have been a little bit further over this way because I'm right on the edge, but then there's plenty of threads there. So now we're going to put the 10 mil tap in by 1 mil pitch. So I'll get it started up and then I'll come back to you because it could be a bit. Right. Oh. So we got the fine thread. You see the difference? That's a 1.25 millimeter thread. That's the one. It's the one you want to correspond with that. I know a lot of you already know this, but there's people out there who've never done it before and wonder how it's how to attack it instead of wrenching their shoulders and what have you. So we'll try and get it started. We might have to put, no, the hole's not big enough. We need to put the 1.6 through. So I'm going to put the 8.6 through. Be careful not to go too far. That should do it. So we can start off the tap. So the tap started. A little bit at a time. Clean the thread. I don't know whether you're supposed to use oil or any. I suppose you could use some WD. I don't know. You'd have to look into that. This is my method. Just checking I put the right one through. Yeah. Take you back to your woodwork, your metalworking days at school, college or whatever. Right, this has reached the bottom of the taper on the plug on the taper tap. I'll put the plug. It is. I'll put that in. plug tap, the tapers threads go right to the end nearly, and you get it to bottom in the hole. Carefully start it off. Now. That's at the bottom. Between the thread well. You need to be careful, you get all your swarf out. And you just make sure you got all your swarf out. And if they get caught on your brand new Nikasil. I thought it was all out, there's still some little bits in there. Of course, if you had an airline, you'd be well away. We don't even have any air up here sometimes. I would say that is nigh on perfect. You don't want it to hit the bottom. There needs to be a gap between the countersunk bottom and the, so that the air can get round and up through the valve. See, there's a slight dome on that. You don't want that pressing up against the 3mm hole. So to get over that, where is it? They give you. Oh, watch me barley heat. You get washers, crush washers. I'll try one first. I've got a second one if I need to pull it back. Now I want to get that. I want to get that phrase off the top of the hole. I'll just use a big drill just to put a chamfer on the top. There we go. I don't know whether that's hit the hole or not. Hit the chamfer. I'll move it back a bit, it might go in, it goes in further, you see. So I'd accounted for this by the fact that I was going to put an extra washer on the back, just a mill, just to pull it away from the bleed hole. magic. I think that's deep enough for it. I'm not gonna go back in because I'll catch the threads. I think that's plenty. There you go. One decomp valve fitted. No special tools. Well, yeah. So you need your taps. Your 2 taps. There's the other one. Oh. You want your 2 taps. There's a second one there. I'm trying not to miss anything here. You want, if they're the standard, bit of a what's it, trembler on there, isn't it? And you want the, I got this off eBay. See if you can make it out. It's a Presto. It's 3.15 millimeters by 8, just to get you piloted in. I don't forget what they called it. It took me ages to find it. Something like a piloted, or a double diameter drill or something to that effect. And you need some collars. You buy them set of collars. You have to wait 3 weeks for them to come from abroad. If you're not abroad, you have to buy a pack from about 3 mil up to 10 or 15. And that one's 8.